Hey guys, this right here, this is my sliding compound miter saw station. I'm not sure if you guys could tell, but this is a metal Craftsman table, and it's leaning to one side, to the left. It's not the sturdiest of things, it's time for me to build a miter saw station. One of the driving factors for me wanting to build a miter saw station, not because this is ugly. I could do ugly, but I often find myself having to cut more than one piece of the same length, and I've been doing it by using a tape measure and pencil, and that's not the most accurate way to do it. I need to have stops, and I just can't do that with this here. So we're going to build. It's going to be a cheap miter saw station. Basically, going to have two tables 6 feet long on each side of this, and I'm going to make it out of 2x6 material. I'm going to have a little bit of storage underneath. Again, it's not going to be the best looking, only because I think this is going to be a temporary solution. I'm not sure if you guys are aware. This is an older greenhouse, and below me is it's soil. It's not nice and level concrete. So this is going to be a temporary solution because I do plan to someday move my shop. So so we're going to go ahead and get started on this now. Again, it's going to be a miter saw station using 2x6 material that I purchased at Home Depot. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so we're done with the legs. Cutting the notches, look, you can do it whatever way you want. You could use a jigsaw, you could use a bandsaw, you could use a handsaw. But I found that the most accurate way to do it is with a dado stack on your table saw. It's just in the past when I've done it before, even with a jigsaw, you're gonna have it's not going to be 100% square, and you got to clean it up a lot. Or you could have a gap in here that's visible on the outside of your table. You don't want that. So if a dado stack and a table saw is available to you, I highly recommend it. So if you could look, this is. Can't get much better than that. So okay, now it's time to put the cross members on the legs. Okay, now that we have the legs complete, we're going to go ahead and screw in the cross members. For those keeping score at home, again, I'm building the miter saw station. We're gonna have 6 feet on one side, 6 feet on the other side, and in between is going to be my miter saw. This station is going to be 2 feet wide, which is what these cross members are right now. So we're just going to go ahead and put these together, put the cross members together with the legs. Okay. Okay, so now that we have the two 6-foot tables completed, the carcasses anyway, the next step is we're going to have to build a ledge going in between the two that I'm going to put my miter saw onto, such that the surface where the material lies on the miter saw is flush with the top of the tables here. This is going to be a little tricky. The ledge, there's nothing special to the ledge. There's going to be a couple of 2x4s, and some plywood. But what's tricky is the ground here. It's not nice, flat cement. I wish it was. It's earth underneath here, soil. So I have different contours, which makes things a little difficult for a wood shop, as you can imagine. I mean, we'll get to that later. I mean, I may have to start digging to even things out. But the next step is we're going to go ahead. We're going to make the ledge. We're going to put some plywood on top and then level it out. And as I mentioned before, these are temporary. They're not the prettiest things, but it's okay. They're functional. This is shop furniture, so it doesn't have to be perfect. I did put some 2x4 slats across the bottom here for some storage. Lord knows I could always use as much storage as I can get my hands on. So, all right. So let's get started on the ledge. Okay, so I've attached these supports. There's two on this table and two on this table, and what these are for is so I can take my ledge, my shelf rather, whatever you want to call it, and it'll rest here, and it'll come right up to the point that we need to so that the miter saw will be nice and flush with the surface of both tables here. There's a problem here. I mentioned this before. I don't have concrete as a floor, unfortunately, and it's sloping downward. The property slopes downward here, so I've got two different. It's not even. This side here is lower than this side here. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to bring this up till it's nice and even. So I'm going to have to put some, I guess 2x something. I'm going to have to put something underneath the legs to bring this up so it's level. So that's what I'm going to do now. And then once it's level, I'm going to screw in the shelf. Okay. Okay, I shimmed a couple of the legs on this side and one on this side. Everything looks to be pretty nice. Everything seems to be flush from one side to the other. And this is parallel as well. So next step is we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut some 3/4 inch plywood to set it on top of all three surfaces, the two sides and then the shelf. So we'll get started on that now. Okay, so I've attached the 3/4 inch plywood to the left, to the right side, also to the middle shelf. The next part of the miter saw station, probably the most important part, is the fence that's going to go on the left and the right side. I'm going to attach this. This is called the Kreg top TraK. It's gonna go on a, you know, fence like this, and here's your stop. It looks great, and I think it's gonna work great too. So I've never actually installed this, so it could be interesting, but it doesn't look too difficult. So we're gonna go ahead and give this a shot now. Okay, one of the last steps that we have here, I have some adhesive measurement tape. It's metal with an adhesive backing. I'm going to put that along here, but we have to align our marks to coincide with the blade. So what I've done is I've taken, this is a 2 feet piece of wood right up against the cut line. That's 2 feet on the nose. So what I'm going to do here, keep pulling until this is right on 2 feet. There goes one. 2 feet right there. Alright, now we just have to take the adhesive backing off, and we're in business. All right. Boy, that didn't work. All right, so in any event, this measuring tape is calibrated, and it's really nice. Alright, time to do the other side. So there you have it. This is my miter saw station. I'm very pleased with it. As you saw before, I just had my miter saw on a bench, which was okay. But if you cut more than one identical piece, you know, you really need to get a miter saw station with the stops. It's just more accurate. This was a relatively easy build. I think I put in about 7 hours, so it's a day, not including the trip to Home Depot. One thing about this, the Kreg top rail, it's so easy. And it's great. No, Kreg isn't giving me anything to say that. I mean, not that they'd be interested in my, you know, 3 subscribers. I'm just very pleased with the product. It's great. So you might want to consider that. All in, I think I have about $160 in lumber, and the Kreg system was about $120. That was for the rails and for the stop. Again, fairly inexpensive. You know, under $300 for something that's pretty substantial. So, like always, guys, if you like the video, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in.